on this lovely Saturday. It has certainly been a hot minute. I think it's been almost a month since the last stream. I've been taking the time off. Oh, it's very bright. Hold on, let me adjust my lighting settings so I'm not. Oh, now I knocked over my webcam. Everything is shambling and falling apart over here. Get the little light adjuster thing. Hold on. Good start for the stream. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now we don't look quite as ghostly bright. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm certainly doing very well. I'm very excited about the future, about this project. I think this is going to be a really fun event. Yeah, so we got Crystal Sword, Ozzy, 2 multiplied, Mr. Jonas, Eraser Paste. Jasper was here. I think that's everybody. Yeah. I feel like the stream will be a war between the serious people and silly people. I think you might be right on that. Let's turn the music up a little bit. Turn off the starting soon text. Then, okay. Today, chat makes a game. Part 1, question mark, question mark, question mark. Because we'll see if this is fun enough to be a ongoing thing. Okay. So let me set the groundwork here. This is a blank Unreal project set up with the third-person template, third-person platformer template. So we've got a little player model here. We can run around, we can jump, and this is pretty much just set up so we have a foundation. The only things that I've changed from the defaults are turning off like motion blur, setting like a lower shading model, and like disabling like motion blur and stuff. Because the end result will, depending on how unless it completely sucks, we'll probably put this up on itch.io as like a free thing so everybody can play it. I mean, we'll probably put it up even if it does completely suck. But yeah. Wouldn't have lighting issues use the Game Boy cam. Seth has a degree. I don't like that. It is weird. Yeah, I'm a degreed individual. I'm a college graduate. A Purdue University alumni. More is fun. Peak Fiction. Game's done. It is done. Yeah. Like, the game is finished. That's why we're here, so we can take the time to chill. Okay. So, here's how we're gonna do it. Oh, shoot. I thought I could make... Can I make a poll? Can I? I can. Okay. I can make a poll. So, here's the first question I'm gonna ask you guys. What genre do you want the game to be? What kind of game are you envisioning in your mind's eye? And obviously there isn't a vision yet. I think there's probably a lot of people who have different ideas. So what do you vision? What do you want this to be? You want like a third-person platformer? Do you want like a weird adventure game? Do you want some nonsense? I'll start taking the ideas that I'm seeing in chat and then start a poll with those answers, and then we'll see what the consensus is. That's kind of the structure I'm thinking. Okay, RPG. Get the poll. What genre? Okay, seeing a lot of RPG. Okay. That... I might be in trouble. Tower defense. Okay. Tower defense. Nonsense. Okay. Nonsense. Platformer. Okay, so I can only have 4 options. Okay, we'll get rid of the nonsense option. Okay, we got RPG, platformer, point and click. Okay, here we'll narrow the options down a little bit. We'll say, let's see, we'll say like RPG / tactical strategy, etc. And then we'll say platformer. So just generally platforming. We'll say shooter of any kind. And then the 4th option will be like adventure. So that'd be like a point and click, that could be like a Zelda style deal. Okay, so shooter would be, yeah, shooter would be under the, or FPS would be under the shooter category. Okay, starting the poll. Go ahead and pick what genre you think our little experiment should be. I should figure out some YouTube integration to get like this pulled up on my other monitor, because I want to be able to. I think that'd be a good addition to the stream. People to be able to see what the answers are looking like. Okay, we're seeing mix of RPG, tactical strategy, etc., and adventure. Hey, Eliza Lurk. We completely botched this game. Well, we got to get something. We got to get a foundation down first to botch. And we got some points on shooter. Okay, we'll keep letting that run. While that's going, let's see. So I'm trying to think of other questions we should be asking. So I'm gonna be doing some additions to the Discord to facilitate sort of the creation of stuff. So it's thinking it'd be fun for like assets to be community made, and music and whatnot. And you know, obviously this is all like a free thing, so no need to contribute if you don't want to. But if you've got like some stupid sprites you want to make, or like a little song you want to play for the background, then I'll have channels where you could submit that sort of stuff for a project here. Can't decide, it's already so over. Okay, so it looks like the consensus based on the chat is that we're looking at an RPG style game. Okay, so the question is, what kind of RPG are we looking for? What kind of RPG are you guys thinking? So let's start a new poll, and we'll say action, turn-based. What other kind of RPGs are there? I guess there's one where there's like a lot of platformer RPG fusion, so we could try that as an option. Types of RPG, types of video game RPG, not rocket launcher. Sure, you know, we'll just go with these three options. Let's pull up. There we go. Hey, Retroflock, how are you doing? Can actually make stuff for this. That is the hope. So to catch you up, Retroflock, today we're trying something new while I'm in between projects, which is a little stream series where the chat can make decisions and vote on polls to define what our game is going to be. So right now, we're going through polling. Add Ozzy's dog. I can add your dog. Sure, we'll add your dog. Especially if you have like a cropped, if you can get like a good cropped PSD file. Although that could also be something fun to do live, is like asset creation. So like crudely cutting things out in Photoshop, or like whipping up crappy little sprites in like Illustrator or Krita or something. That could be fun. Okay, so I'm seeing that platformer RPG fusion is winning pretty strongly here. How would a platformer RPG work, though? I don't know. That's up to you guys to figure out. Where can I send my dog? You know what? I'll go ahead and make just a loose placeholder channel for now under game discussion. It's a new text channel called Assets for DIY. Yeah. Permissions. Believe you should be able to post in there. Let me know if that is blocked off though, but you should be able to do that. Should have real-time fighting. What do you mean real-time fighting? Like action combat? Or like real-time, like active time battle from like Final Fantasy 4 through 6, where it's like, you know, the meter fills up, or 4 through a lot of them? Okay, what we're definitely getting platformer RPG fusion is our concept here. Okay. So, next question for you guys. So you thinking like third-person platformer? You want to do like a 2D platformer? We'll narrow this down first. Okay, yeah, not turn-based. That's what you're saying. Okay. Dog. Very, very goopy dog. Very droopy dog. Not turn-based. To click the buttons to attack. Okay, so that'd be like you could just mash attack or attack swing. Okay, so for platforming. Third-person platformer. We'll say, what type of platform. Third person. First person. 2D. 2D/3D with cutouts like Void Collector, but like we're talking like angle, you know. So like we could have a side view, we could have a behind the back view. That's kind of what I mean with 2D. You know, we got like this. This is your third person, first person. I think y'all can probably know what third person is, and then 2D is just like, you know, Mario from the side scroller. That's what I was looking for. Okay, it's seeing like... Okay, so 2D is currently leading. First person is not too far behind, though. Where's the 4D platformer? Fourth dimension button that changes the level. Okay, well, I don't know what a fourth dimension button does. You guys gotta remember, these are things we have to... You know, it's one thing to come up with an idea, but it's gotta be programmable. 2.5D. Okay, we'll definitely be 2.5D, yeah, because we're working in Unreal Engine. Okay, looks like the consensus is 2.5D. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to code that. I don't think that'll be hard to clarify. I just haven't really thought about how I would make a 2.5D game. So we're gonna have to put a little bit of font into this. Start by clearing all this area out, and let's update the goal text real quick to say chat, or I guess we'll say current idea 2.5D platformer fusion RPG game. There we go. Okay, that's not confusing at all. When have you started programming? I've been programming for a while. Properly programming, I guess, it's probably like a bit over a decade. Can you even make a 2D game on Unreal? You could. You can't. It's not really good for making full 2D that doesn't have any 3D. But you can make in our case, for making 2.5D, it works really nicely for that. Just do a game where you go between both perspectives, first person and 2D. Yeah, Super Paper Mario. I mean, would be kind of nice to make a game that's like Super Paper Mario that's actually good. Any Super Paper Mario fans, close your ears, pretend I didn't say that. Platform in 2D, but during fights you go into first or third person to fight against the enemy. And the enemies would be 2D like VC. So maybe it's like a 2D Okay. Guys, hear me out on this. What if we're doing like Mario and Luigi or something? Where it's like if you do the 2D sections in those games, like in Bowser's Inside Story, it's 2D. It's a 2D platformer, right? But then you hit an enemy on the overworld, and then that takes you into the fight. But we can make the fights like they're in little 3D arenas or something. It's like it takes you to a 3D arena platformer or something, or fight arena. Whatever. We can figure that out. We'll figure it out when we get there. The dog is the texture for everything. We just stretch that out over everything. Okay, let's start a poll. Here. So 2D platformer. I guess this can just be like discussion here. Let's get rid of the player spawn. You can just get the third person character in here. And then we're just gonna have to modify the heck out of this poor sap here to make him work in 2D. So we'll get the follow camera, or get the camera boom, and we can just give this sucker a rotation of about 90 degrees. Or not, it doesn't want to rotate. Interesting. I don't know if we really need a camera boom arm, actually. Because the boom arm is really nice for... essentially what that does is it's a component that allows things to not let the camera get stuck in walls. But we're not really going to need that here, I don't think. Okay, so now we got this sort of 2D perspective. Now the problem is that the camera is still getting adjusted. So I think what we're going to want to turn off is orient, rotation, It's something like orient, rotation, and movement. Yeah, there we go. Turn that off. Yeah. Now, we still are moving in the wrong axes. But it is kind of functional. So now what we're going to do is go get rid of the camera input, because right now we don't really want that. So get rid of all of the camera inputs. Then we'll go up to the movement inputs. And probably only going to need one of these. So let's temporarily get rid of this one here. Okay, well, I guess we'll keep the other one. Yeah, we'll get rid of the other movement input. And there we go. Look, it's a 2D game. I mean, it's a little miscentered, misaligned. But it is a 2D game. Wow. It's really good. Oop. Why did it spawn us out in the sky? That was weird. Something's all out of sorts with this thing. And there's another character here. So we'll just get the player start back, I guess. Didn't like what we were doing there. Oh, it's not in there. It's in actor place, basement, basic, player start. There. There we go. Okay, there we go. 2D game. The other way around, 3D platforming, switch to 2D in a fight. But if you can only move sideways, but the level moves towards you, or is that a little too spaghettifying? So like the whole level moves rather than you move, kind of like Monkey Ball, where it's like your controls are tilting the level, but you're trying to get the monkey in the ball, but you're not controlling the monkey in the ball, you're controlling the level to tilt around that shit. Okay, but 2D game. The animations don't really work, but that's fine. We're probably not going to be using this 3D character anyways. There is a really good system for 2D animation in Unreal called Paper 2D, and that's what we're going to be using. So we'll make some like character sprites and stuff for dictating the character movement. In fact, we're not really going to want this 3D character model, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of their mesh. So let's go to the... set you to clear. There we go. And then we'll just add in a cube component. Scale you up a little bit. And there we go. Yeah. I think that works pretty nicely for us. Yeah. Okay. And we got a cube. Cool. So one thing I'm going to do real quick that I think will be appreciated. I can't see this because I'm going in my files, my file structure here. So we're going to go to Documents, go to My Games, or no, not My Games, Games, Remember Projects, I don't know projects. Go to DIY, open up Content, and we're going to make a new folder in here that it's going to show up here called Textures. And then we will just do a little bit of finagling here. Go to Okay, so you're gonna see we've imported a new file, and this is Ozdog, and we're going to set it to Angular. We're going to give it a little bit of downscaling because it's a little big. I'm trying to remember how to do my compression. There we go. I'll just downscale about double, so it's taking up a little bit less resources, as if that really matters right now. And then we're going to make a new material, just called Ozdog.mat. And then we will replace this material with... oh, that's mesh, duh. And replace this with Ozdog.mat. Oh. Okay, so it's... Okay, the problem here is that it's stretching out the material over the entire shape. Or it's trying to... Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, yeah, this is the problem here. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do is to make this tile. And I kind of forget how to do that. This might be an idea that can be considered late in development, but what if there was a town with people or pictures people post in the Discord? That could be fun, yeah. That'd be a good way to, because one thing I really want to do with this is make it feel like anybody who has an idea could contribute. So even if it's something simple like a little townsperson, I think that's a really good idea. Dog cube. Dog cube. Oh, it's all sorts of misaligned. Okay, we'll fix that later. Okay, this is entirely for me. We're gonna make a new object. We're gonna call it props. We're gonna make a new blueprint. Actor pawn. Let's make it a pawn. BP dog ball. We're gonna put a BP dog ball down. We're gonna grab a sphere. We're going to make it dog. And we're going to add a rotating movement component. And probably rotation rate of 180 would be good. I think okay, I think this floor bit's a little too thick here. There we go. So there's the spinning dog ball in the background. Although I think what I want to do is actually make it like huge and kind of way off in the distance, like a sun or like a moon. Okay, cool. This is looking pretty good. I think we've got a good direction here. This is so stupid. This has already gotten so dumb, which is good. That's what we're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna really quickly make some adjustments to the input mappings, because I kind of think that they're a little wonky right now. Let's see. Let's probably I'll swizzle in the gate. Yeah. Gotta get rid of this because we don't really need all of those individual parts now. There we go. Okay. So one thing I think that we should do is let's start by thinking about the platforming element to this. What kind of mechanics do you guys want to have for our 2D platformer? You know, like maybe you want to have a double jump, maybe some sort of a dash, maybe a ground pound of sorts. You know, what do you guys want? What are you guys thinking we need here? What position, divide, texture size, texture UVs. What are you doing to my dog? It's just a dogster, don't worry. Us dog ball versus the world. Had a ring around it, also textured as a dog. Okay, hold on. We'll do that later. I gotta fix the inputs real quick. I gotta fix the inputs. Gotta make the inputs work. Because right now, because this is a weird, jumbled version of a, I can probably just plug that into X, actually. I probably need to mess with... Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Now we're okay. But yeah, what kind of mechanics do you guys want for our 2D platformer? You know, what are we doing? What kind of... Is it fast? It's probably fast. Is it kind of slow? You know, what are we doing? Crazy idea. What if you could use the keys 1 through 5 to open and close fingers to create different finger guns? That's a good idea. Somebody should make a game about that. I think there should be a character called Mr. Merkle the Squircle. Well, I think that'll be later. Like, you can design that guy. Let's make this Void Collector 2. No, Void Collector 2 I will do when I am a better game developer, when I have evolved. When I have grown and adapted. It's too early to take on that task now. Okay, but we're going to, while you guys are thinking of mechanics, you know, of your ideas, I'm gonna quickly go to textures and make a new OzDog material. And I'm going to, you know, I know world position. I'm trying to remember the exact world position. I always have to look this up every time. World position. Let's see what he's saying. World position, divide by the texture size, texture UVs. I don't remember how that stuff works. I've followed tutorials for all this. Unreal, make texture Oop. Oop. Yeah, whatever. I don't want to be sitting here staring at textures and stuff. That'll be boring. Fast movement for 2D and fighting for 3D. Okay. Fast, condemned to ice physics. I should be able to burrow in the ground or something. Yeah, it isn't like Pepper Grinder. I haven't played Pepper Grinder. I'm assuming it's good, right? Okay. Well, first thing we're gonna do then, and this is just kind of starting to bug me here, is I think our camera's a little too close. I think we should zoom the camera out a bit. Yeah. Okay, and then I also just kind of want to make the character a little bit more stubby. I'll make him a little stubbier. Yeah. Okay, so we're thinking fast. So what kind of controls do you guys want for this? Here, I'll add a new poll here. Type of controls. Momentum based. So things that have more of a momentum to them. So like Ori, Sonic, Mario, etc. That sort of thing. And then we'll have snappy. So that's like Mega Man. Mega Man, Hollow Knight, that sort of thing, where it's like you tap left and right and you'll just move left and right instantly without any delay. So that's what I mean by like momentum and snappy. Hylics OST. Yes indeed. I love Hylics. Add slots. What do you mean add slots? Like slots for what? Like inventory or something? Be cool if it was fast-paced and your goal is to keep movement speed by staying in the air or sliding. Way to stun the enemies where the player screams really loud. Like what, if you yell into your microphone, it'll do damage? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of support for momentum. Got it. Okay, well, let's adjust some of our scales here. So first thing I think we're going to want to do is just increase the max walk speed by double. You know, just give him a little extra speed. So by default, the Unreal Player character, like all of the default settings that it gives us, will make the character kind of heavy. Oh, I keep slipping. I need to figure out a better position for this stinking webcam. Here's the input mapping context. Don't need that guy anymore. Let's make it 1500. Okay, gonna go ahead and end the poll. Looks like we're going momentum. We're thinking momentum baromentum. Okay, so I think we want to give the character probably a Lua. Yeah, that's too heavy. I think we're gonna want to give probably some better air control. It's like point. The smaller air control number means the more air control you get. No, it's the other way around. There's something like that where it's like weirdly kind of backwards. Say like 1, an air control of 1. Yeah, so you have some control, but you're still very, heavy. Okay, but we'll do some more experimentation when we figure out a little bit better about what exactly we're doing. You're stuck in absurdly large skiing shoes. You press a button and the character starts yelling. Oh, I was thinking that the character would start yelling if you yelled into your real-life microphone. Add b-hopping, add 2-4... Okay, guys, we gotta figure out the fundamentals here, guys. We gotta think about what we're doing on a base level first and foremost. Add rocket jumping? Okay, well, I'm seeing a lot of support for b-hopping. Okay, let me add that to my notes, I guess. We'll say b-hop. 2-4. Double and a half jump. What's the half jump? Double / half. Yeah, because you're gonna have to explain that one. Inputting the Konami code turns you into an armored vehicle. Okay. Interesting. Real quick, we're gonna get rid of this guy. Which we're gonna keep it for a second, and then we'll do good old reliable cube grid, which is gonna be excellent for a projects such as this where we're kind of, you know, flying by the seat of our pants here. Oh, didn't mean to add that to the pre-existing mesh. Let's rebuild that real quick. Sure, reset the grid from actor. There we go. Okay. There we go, there we go. Okay. Then we can... There we go. Now we got ourselves a nice little 2D plane that we can run around on. And we'll just we'll extend that quite a bit in either way, just so we have some space to run around with and test our momentum here. Then we'll add a wall, probably on either side actually, just to give us a little bit of room to work with. And you know what? We'll make this side a slope, so we can test the slope physics as well. Okay, so pretty popular request there I was seeing was b-hopping. So sure, let's get some b-hopping going. Let's add a new variable. I'll just call it b-hop. So we're going to grab an event. Actually, first we'll move jump over here, because we're going to need to adjust this guy quite a bit, I think. So we're going to grab the character movement. We're going to say event on land... Actually, it's a separate event. Event on landed. So when the event has landed, we will start a timer. So we'll do a delay for, let's say, 0.2 seconds. And then if... Actually, I think we just done this. Is moving on ground. There we go. So if you are on the ground... I'm going to branch here. So when this timer is up, if you are moving on the ground, then we'll set b-hop to false. There we go. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit about how this code is, how our bunny hopping code is going to work here. I keep getting this freaking thing misaligned. So what we're going to do is we got this variable called b-hop. When you jump, b-hop will be set to true, so you can now functionally b-hop. Whenever you land, b-hop will be... Oh, true. True, there we go. So whenever you land, it will wait 0.2 seconds, and then remove your ability to b-hop. So if you land, and then use this, and then b-hop is still true, and jump again, then it'll give you some extra momentum with your next jump. So what we'll do here is... I don't know if we even need the completed part. Let's get rid of that and see if that makes a difference. No, I don't think it does. Yeah. I think it lets you hold it down, but we don't really want to hold it down. We want to manually time each jump. So we'll add a branch here before we jump. And we will say if b-hop is true... Trying to think how exactly we want to go about doing this. So what I could do is replace the jump with like a launch, so it'll just launch the character in whatever direction that they're you know, trying to jump to. But then if they have and then it'll cap their momentum at a certain point. But if you b-hop correctly, then it won't cap your momentum. That might be the best way to go about doing that. So let's try that. Let's replace the jump function with a launch character node, and we will get their launch velocity as let's see, I always forget which one's X, which one's Y. Let's just say like 1,000. We'll want to make this more absolute later, but oh, why isn't it launching me? Oh, because yeah, I'm a fool, you see. I'm quite silly of the mind. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Here's what I think we can do. So we just give it a 500 on the Z. So we just have a little jump here. What if we do an XY override? Does that just stops us in our place, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, so that doesn't feel great. So what we can do is instead of launching, we can just sort of cap the velocity. So let's first give that jump a bit more height, like probably 750 I think would feel good. Yeah, so if b-hop is false, then we'll do that jump, and if b-hop is true, Get rid of this bit. Don't really need the comments to tell us where the jump part is, I don't think. I think based off of this part, you can kind of guess what this code does. Oh, I thought my head's getting cut off again. Okay. Yeah, so then this one, we'll figure out, like, this one will have a clamp, and then this one will not have a clamp. So if you b-hop, then it'll be proper. But whenever you jump, it will... Yeah, whenever you successfully do jump, b-hop will be true. Cool. And then we'll add a print string here, and this will say b-hop. So look in the top left here, you should see if whenever we successfully b-hop, then yeah, it says b-hop. So we got our hops now. And just for the sake of simplicity, to show that it is actually working, we'll say you get extra height upon doing a b-hop. And we'll make it so that way you instead of having height, it'll give you speed, or maintain speed rather. Oops, oh, I forgot to add a check to make sure that you have to stay on the ground. Oopsies. Well, first things first, we're gonna move the camera even further back. But we should have, yeah, even more room. Add a new variable called jumped. And on landed, set jumped to false. Pull all this stuff out a little bit. And we'll add a jumped branch. Jumped has to be false. Yeah, if jump is false. And then whenever you jump, it'll set jump to true. Plug it. There we go. Okay, now we've got a... Now you can't spam jump a billion times, but now we've got a functional b-hop system. Wowza, look at that. How amazing. Okay, sorry, I got locked in on coding the jumping physics. I didn't read chat for a little bit. Let's see, we got, if you press a button midair to do a dash/spin, that can damage enemies, and that was the half jump. Okay, we could do that. 3D fighting, okay. I love Cube Grid. Cube Grid is fantastic. Maybe to traverse levels, the scenes go from graphical computery stuff to more organic. Could be a story thing. Okay, yeah, that could be fun. We'll save more of the visual stuff for a little bit later in the process. Right now, we're just trying to think mechanics, you know? But feel free to keep brainstorming. 3 jumps, first 2 are the same height, and the last one goes up half the original height. Okay. Will the dog ball have lore implications? Yeah, the dog is the sun. Can I already tell this is going to be so much fun to play? Well, apparently this is an RPG, too. Idea for a better way to connect the 2D to 3D. You have a map, a few points of interest. To get to the point of interest, which could be 3D, you got to go through a platformer 2D with enemies. Okay. Difficulty levels would depend on how hard it would be to get from A to B. So from point A to point B as a volcano, it could be difficult. Okay. Add COD kill streaks. Okay. I think you guys are still not thinking about what we need in the current moment, you know? Like, we're still trying to figure out what kind of game the game is, you know? We can't be thinking about kill streaks when we don't even have enemies to kill streaks. To streak kill with. Now I know I said I wasn't going to worry about visuals right now, but just hold for 1 second. How many gaps is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop, 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 boop. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Now you might be thinking, Seth, what you doing there? What you doing there, man? And I would say don't worry about it. It's not important. Let me just make sure I'm making this correctly. Okay, I was making it correctly. There we go. Yeah. So it's going like that. Whatever. It'll be close enough. Sure, this should go out a little bit. Whatever. This is a meme. This is a joke thing, anyways. It doesn't matter. There we go. Now we got the two-fort bridge, sort of. That's kind of cool, right? The way it passes in front of the camera. It's kind of cool. With the dog ball spinning menacingly in the background. They should be cursed Mario and Luigi's. A Beyblade attack? Okay. Let's see. You move fast enough, you bounce off walls. Okay, so I am noticing the problem with this format is that there is just kind of a lot of ideas being thrown around, and it's hard to narrow in on what people actually want to see, you know? Or getting the things that we kind of need on a more fundamental level here. Okay, so let's make a new poll here. Let's make a new poll. And I'm gonna say what add next? New platforming mechanic? Double jump. Down the stage, type all that. Okay, new platforming mechanic. Think like a double jump, that sort of thing. Change physics. And enemy. Sure, we'll leave those as our three options. So we got a new platform mechanic, an enemy of some type, or physics tweaks. Depends on what you guys want to see. What do you think we need? Middle pillar isn't centered. Yeah, my bad. Let me fix that real quick. Right, there we go. Fixed it. Oh, shoot, it actually does kind of look more... Nah, no, it's definitely not more centered. I think I might want to increase the friction. Is this guy real? This guy? This guy's real, yeah. I exist in corporeal space, despite what you might believe. Do enemies, okay. Although it looks like new platform mechanic is currently winning out the poll with 11 votes. I'll let it rock a little bit longer, but I think that's gonna be it. We'll probably get to making enemies later. But maybe it's not a bad thing that we're figuring out how the game plays first before adding the enemies and stuff. Okay, it's looking like that's pretty much everybody's voted. Okay, so we're doing a new platforming mechanic. Okay, so what kind of platforming mechanic? So we've got, what mechanic? So I'll be keeping an eye on chat, just what do you guys want to see. I will also be making some tweaks to the physics, because they don't feel great. I'm going to include just some extra braking, because he feels way too heavy right now. Yeah, okay, that feels a little better. I think what we will do is... I think we'll slightly also increase the gravity scale, and then just increase the jumps as well, because it feels kind of weirdly floaty and heavy. I think just making it feel a little more tight would be good. Yeah, it feels a little better. Don't know if my dash idea is any good. Was that like the spinny dash attack thing? Dashing away from the way you're currently moving wouldn't lose momentum. So like an insta-dash? Or a directional dash? Okay. We'll say omnidirectional dash. Mario Galaxy spin. Ground bounce. Okay, I think we've got our options in. Let's run the poll here. And you know what? I think we're gonna keep bumping the speed up a little bit. Also, I think we're gonna increase the acceleration factor a little bit too. And then walk speed, I think we'll bump up to 2K. It's gonna be fast. We're going to be going quick. Every game I make is always has fast, cool momentum and physics and stuff in it. I can't help myself. While that poll's running, I'm also just gonna do a little bit of. This is just for me. I love the slight blue tint on it. Makes it look so imposing. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Quick new feature for the dog ball. Hold on. We're gonna call it dog speed. Gonna make you an integer. Say it's like 2000 or 200. Set you to expose on spawn, and then actor or event begin play. We're going to grab the rotating movement component. We're going to set rotation rate, split struct pin, and then hook this up. I should probably make you a float, shouldn't we? Variable type. Cool, go. Cool, we go. Cool, there we go. So now what you can do is adjust the rotation rate of each individual dog. So for example, this one that's far away I think should move slower because it's supposed to be like bigger, but then this one that's closer we can make it go faster. Yeah, there we go. Now they feel really different and unique. Let's see, a backwards jump dive that can be slightly adjusted using WNS midair. What, like a Mario 64 kind of like flip jump sort of thing? Adding what Ozzy said, there should be a gauge that increases when you b-hop, and if it fills you blow up, you have to take vitamins to not blow up. Momentum-based games are always fun to play. It's very true. Here goes a timed bomb. Adding on Ozzy's idea, when you kill enemies, the timer resets, so there's always a constant threat. Okay, wait. Guys, I think we've got our concept here. Let's... Okay. I don't want to come up with too many ideas. This is supposed to be your guys' idea. But I think the concept of a platforming game where you have to get to the end of the level while you have to deliver a bomb to the end of the stage, and you have to keep doing things to prevent it from exploding. I think you guys are onto something here. I think there is a concept that is formulating quite nicely here. I would just say maybe instead of b-hopping too much making you explode, maybe like b-hopping or doing skill-based things would prevent it from exploding. I think that would be more interesting, more fun, you know? But I think you guys are cooking onto something. I think there's a concept that is formulating, and it's formulating quite nicely. Okay. Okay. Let's add a new meter real quick, because we're gonna start working with this. We're gonna call it bomb meter. It's gonna be a float, and it's gonna start at 100. And we're gonna grab event tick, subtract bomb meter, multiply by delta seconds, or 1 times delta seconds. This should give us some flexibility here. And then bomb meter minus this number, and we'll set bomb meter. Go, and then we will print string bomb meter. Okay, yeah, so you can see it very slowly draining. Probably a little too slow. Set it like 3 times. Yeah, so that's our ticking bomb element we've got now. Peak gaming, peak. Would the bomb also be Ozzy's dog? Could be. Will there still be the 3D fighting, please? Well, we'll see. This is up to the chat. I think the excitement is for the bomb idea. Multitasking panic game would be cool. Put my bunny in the assets channel. Okay, we can get that guy in there too. Boss battles or stuff should still be 3D. Points of interest if that idea gets added. WarioWare, but if it was a platformer. Okay, I think WarioWare Get Together, overhated. That game is fun. I think it's good. It's not the best one, but it's good. The best one is Gold. And I will not listen to any arguments on this. It's the best one because it's got all of the best modes from all of the series and all of the mini games together. It's the best one, and I will not argue. Although Smooth Moves is very good too. Okay, enough WarioWare argument. Okay, so we've got this bomb meter, and you know what? Let's go ahead and add a new folder for UI. So we're going to grab a user interface widget blueprint. Call it UI. We'll just call it HUD. UI HUD. I'm creative. I'm gonna get a canvas panel. We're going to get a progress bar. Just schlonk that thing up at the very top here. I'm gonna call you bomb bar. Percent. Let's say right there. So, red, I guess. As a placeholder. Yeah, sure. Remember how I set the background color, though. Some of the ways you do things in Unreal are shockingly not as intuitive as one would maybe think. Style, there we go. Now that's actually pretty intuitive. My bad. I know when to hold when I'm wrong. Okay, so we will open progress. Oops, that's the wrong thing. I meant to do bind. Yeah, create binding. So what we're gonna do here is on event graph, on event construct, we will cast to VP third person character, which is, I guess it still is third person, it's just a different type of third person. Get player controller, and then promote this to a variable, or no, get player con is what we're looking for. There we go. And then we will, as third person character, we will get bomb meter, and we will divide that by 100, and that'll be the percentage. Oh, right, we need to, actually we can move this back down here. We will create widget, and this will be the HUD. We'll add this to viewport. There we go. Alright, now look at that. We got ourselves a nice little bomb meter that's counting down to our inevitable demise. Add Minecraft. Okay, cool. We'll just add the entirety of Minecraft in there. They did let you play as Fiora. It's true. Every time an enemy hits you, the bomb timer gets shorter. It's a good idea. Threw some stuff into assets. Alright, I'll take a look. Maybe there could be a Puro-esque attack where you throw a grappling hook diagonally that rebounds and brings enemies towards you. Okay, that could be interesting. Let me close that out of freaking you real quick. Freaking Visual Studio. Hate this thing. Okay, so we did have a poll that is still running actually, but an omnidirectional dash was the winner as the next mechanic to add. So let's go ahead and get cracking on that, why don't we? Okay, so what we're gonna do here is relatively simple. We're gonna go to here. Actually, we'll just rename you to player. Yeah, we'll go to input actions. Gonna make a new action. Probably just jump is good. Just copy paste this one because it'll have the same type of properties. And we'll just call this IA dash. Then we'll set this up in our input mapping context. So how inputs work in Unreal is relatively simple. You have individual input actions, and these have different types of inputs. So for our dash, it's going to be a digital bool. And a bool in inputs is similar to a boolean in variables. So it's just on or off. It's an on or off button. So for a jump, that's all we need. We need to detect if the button's being pressed or not pressed. So we go to our mapping context, which is where you set up what button triggers that action. And we'll set ours to shift for right now. And then now that we have that set up in our mapping context, we can set up a IA dash event here. So whenever we call something upon dash, it will then, it'll do what we need it to do, basically. So for example, when we do the dash, it could trigger in whatever direction that we are currently going. So without having any of the actual nuance, we can just say, 2000 or whatever. So you do boom, and then it sends you flying. I don't know why it's sending me upwards, though. That's kind of weird. Oh, because it still has 950. Stupid. And you can just span it, because we don't have any limiters on it. Oh, I went too far. Oh, shoot, I went too far and blew up and died. Oh. Yeah, this, if you go too far, you blow up. But we'll probably do this by just, adding to your momentum, rather than, well, because right now all it does is just set your momentum in a certain direction. It's not actually, additive, or it doesn't really work the way it should. Get out of here, Visual Studio. I'm not using you. Get out of here. Yeah. But I'm trying to think how do we have an omnidirectional dash in a 2D game, Because, it could just be the direction you're going, so maybe if you use it right after a jump, it would give you a lot of extra vertical height, but that might feel kind of clunky. We could try using the mouse, maybe. Mouse or right stick. So, left stick would move you, right stick would maybe control a cursor that would hover around your character, and then pressing the dash button would then send you flying in that direction that you're currently facing. We could try something like that. Limit dashes, what if dashes are actually explosions and make the bomb meter slightly shorter? Okay, that's an interesting idea. Go away. Ooh, okay. Here's what I think we could do with that idea. So what if... Okay, so the left stick moves you around, and then the right stick positions where the bomb is around you, and then, say you move it underneath you, right? So you hold straight down, and then explode it, then that would send you upwards because it sends you in the opposite direction that you're currently going. So you could use the bomb explosions like that to get extra height. And this isn't a priority, but whenever you finish a level, there should be a short animation like your character dunks the dog ball. That should have less acceleration at the start. Less acceleration at the start feels not very impactful. Okay, yeah, I think it should be... We'll see if this idea is interesting. And bomb can also take hits for you. Yeah, I think that's what the idea was earlier, was that the bomb, taking damage would also just lower the meter. So the idea is constantly trying to keep your bomb meter high. 3D fighting? I don't know where the 3D fighting fits in with our bomb concept here. Did you guys ever play Boombot? And I think it was on Ninja Kiwi. It was it's like a puzzle platformer game where you put bombs around your character. So the idea is that you'd click and hold to make a little bomb, and then your character couldn't move themselves, but you'd send them flying around with different bombs and stuff. It's kind of what this concept is reminded me of. Meow, meow. This is going to be game of the year. What happened to the RPG concept? That's true. The RPG concept has kind of fallen to the wayside, actually. So do we want to still include the RPG elements, or do we want to fully go in on this being a fast bomb platformer? What's your guys' thoughts? Where are we going with this project, with this concept? If this game is good enough, would you put it on Steam for $5? I would feel a little weird about charging money for a project that's kind of like a fun community event, It's like, it's supposed to be made by the community, by people who helped contribute. So if I charged money or something for it, I'd probably want to, you know, I don't know. It would feel weird for a fun community event to be something I'm trying to make a ton of money off of or something. I'd probably not a ton, but you get what I'm saying. Add random RPG elements in between levels. RPG elements between levels. Focus on platforming. Rocket-powered grenade and call it a day. Okay, wait, true. Hold on, that's true. Okay, how about this? So the main focus is these levels, but maybe in between there's like different RPG elements. Like, let's say you can like upgrade your bomb or something, or like maybe you're working for like a bomb defusal system or something, so you go to pick up bombs, and instead of defusing them, you have to like carry them all the way to like a safe place to take it so it doesn't explode. And maybe you can like upgrade your bomb defusal agency or something, and then that's where like your RPG elements take place. It's like business management or something. That could be funny. But focused on platforming. Yeah, I think the bomb mechanic here is kind of the key. That's kind of our killer element, you know. While we're at it, let's just add a new BP bomb. And I was kind of expecting this to be a complete joke meme game, but these concepts are actually like kind of good. Idea for player character UPS. I just looked at the Discord. I like that, Ozzy. Let's see, okay, there's a couple of cat pictures. Let's see, there's, yeah, Structure Flock is your thing. There's the bunny. There's a little goober guy. Cool. Okay, let's save. Then, boop, and then back, and then back. And then we're gonna import, hold. There we go. Then create material. And then we go to props, bomb, make this, erase, bunny. There we go. The is it upside down or something? Yeah, there we go. The bunny bomb. And then we can go to the player character here. Then add the bomb. Or add, how do I just add? There's a way to do it, I just don't remember how it works, because I guess it's not a component, it's another actor. Shouldn't be hard, I just don't remember how to do it. I guess I just add it as a mesh, probably wouldn't, yeah, it doesn't really need to be its own separate entity, actually, it's kinda silly now that I'm thinking about it. But here's our bomb. Bombs on your head. Bun. There we go. Then, let me rotate. There we go. I'm trying to figure out where the freaking face is. There we go. I think it's all squished by the sphere. Okay, there we go. Now you got a tiny little bunny bomb on the head. Bunny bomb, hell yeah. These concepts are actually kind of good. He says he's bee hopping in front of the dog sphere. It's true. We shouldn't get too far away from ourselves here. So the 3D would come in. Jetpack uses up the bomb timer. RPG battle is you trying to defuse the bomb. You have your friend Bob the Bomb Man. It fixes and upgrades your bomb each level. The game's a normal RPG, but you have a bomb strapped to you and the timer starts randomly, so you sometimes have to do platforming levels. Okay. A lot of disparate concepts here. The visions there's different visions. Here, we'll start a poll. What do? Say 90 or like mostly platformer RPG elements. Say mostly RPG with platforming. and then all plat, all RPG. Okay, so now we can lock in a little bit what exactly our direction we're going with this is. You know, are we gonna commit, or are we gonna not commit? And then I will really quickly just make an alternative version of the dog ball with the bunny sphere. What? Oh, there it is. It's just oblong. Makes one really big and really far away. The slight blue of the atmospheric pressure is so funny. Makes it just look gigantic. Set you to 15. Yeah, and then we'll set the size over here a little bit, and then maybe over here. We'll so overlap. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking great. Yeah, this looks so good. Let's move the camera up a little. Yeah, sure. Why not? Be level with just a bunch of the pets as spheres. The sphere stage. The level of spheres. Make all the enemies scarily realistic animals. What if the reason you have platforming segments is because your cover keeps getting blown by the bomb mafia and you gotta get to the next underground bomb defusal center? Okay. It seems like most everybody's voted. Okay, so we're going mostly platform with RPG elements. Okay, so we'll worry about the platforming sections primarily for right now. And that'll be our goal for today, is just keep figuring out how we want our bomb defusal system thing to work. Although really quickly, I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if we did something like this. What if we just platform on the dog ball? Talking about bombs and dog balls. This whole system has gone out of whack so quickly. Whoa, whoa. Okay, that's dangerous because now we're thrown off the axis. On Halloween, the spheres turn into various jobs, but like, it's like, the example I think of for that sort of thing is like Cave Story, where you have like different unique skins on certain holidays. It's like all the characters just look different whenever it's a holiday of some sort. Okay, so here's something we're gonna want to do. Let's probably do this in the player controller, or the game mode rather. Say event begin play. Let's get player controller. Then we will trying to think how I want to word this, or what the exact function is. Set input mode. There we go. Don't remember why I couldn't figure that one out. There we go. So now we can. Why is it not letting me move my mouse? It should be gaming UI. Huh? Weird. Okay, well, whatever. We'll get to that later. Not super important for right now. Okay. So here's what I think we should probably do next. Is we will start a new UI element. We'll call it UI bomb circle. So I think as we've decided upon, I'm imagining a small circle around our player character, and you can essentially move the bomb around the character in that circle, and then detonate it, which will then lower the amount of time you have, but it will give you some extra speed in the opposite direction. So that system seems kind of complicated, actually, so let's figure that out. Can you make the bomb? Well, we kind of got a bomb. Beaver come out to a AAA game. Same, but I better not see not only my assets, but also an amazing game. It'll be, well, doubts on the 3D fighting, but it'll be good. Yes, we do kind of already have a bomb on their head, but now we need to worry about the functionality of this bomb circle. I could just shrink this down to like something like 500 by 500-ish. Something like that. Doesn't gotta be super precise. Kind of precise. A little bit more precise than this. That's close enough. Then we add a circle. Not a circle. What a circle? What am I doing? Just type circle and it pulls something up. Then we'll anchor you in the center. And scale it up to fill that circle. Or to fill that square, rather. And we're gonna need to make a circle visual to actually go in this. Yeah, so it's gonna need to take up this whole space. Trying to think how we're gonna do this. How are we gonna do this? I'm not sure. I'm not actually too sure about how we're gonna do it. Maybe the arrow keys actually would work better. That could be good, because then it could check what directions you're moving around them in, and then that could give you a set sort of launch in each direction to make it feel a little bit more smooth, perhaps. Other people are giving good suggestions or leaving. Now it's all just pure chaos. I'm going fast. Okay, so here's what we want to do. We want to have this system where we can control the bomb around us in a circle. And then we want to boost in the opposite direction. So I think for now what we'll want to do is set up some inputs so we can, we'll get the inputs going first. That'll be the first concern. And then we'll set up some actions. So we'll have, these probably can just be booleans. So we'll say IA up, then make 4 more, down, left, and right. Then we'll go to our mapping context, and then we'll say IA up, left, down, and right. Then we'll set this to up, down, left, or up, left, down, right. There we go. And then what we can do is grab those action events. So we can grab IA up, IA down, IA left, and IA right. Okay, so here's how I'm thinking this could work, coding wise. So we've got up, left, down, and right. So what I'm thinking we could do is grab probably an integer. I think I've got a better way to explore this. So we'll go to paint here. So with fighting games, they use a notation like this. So this is your control stick on your controller, and it goes left, it can tilt right, it can tilt up, it can tilt down, it tilts all these different directions, right? So what I'm thinking we could do is map it out kind of like this in the code. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, and this is 9. So whenever you press the dash button, we'll have some code to set this to all of these different positions. So let's say you're holding down and left. That sets your number to 1. You're holding straight down, that's 2. Down and right, that's 3, etc., etc., etc. And then we can use that to control each of the different ways that the dashes go. The mouse dash sounded really cool, though. The mouse dash could be fun, but this should work with controllers as well, is kind of the concern. Boss battles can put you in a first-person Doom fight sequence. I think it'd be interesting. Interessant. Yeah. So let's close out of U. So if it is up, then we'll say this, call this directional. And I think even if you could have mouse controls, this would probably still be the way we want to control it. Just for the sake of convenience, for ease of use, perhaps. So if up is triggered, can I do an and? Or, yeah, and? No, that's not for inputs. Should have figured. I could do and here, though, right? Or and boolean. Yeah, so if... Yeah, we could do something like this. So if up and left are both triggered, then that would be 7. Yeah, okay, hold on. If up and left are both equal, or both triggered, then print string, or then set directional to 7. And if it's false, then, well, no. Because then, shoot, this is going to get really complicated. This is going to get super complicated. I've missed everything up till now. What game are we making? I don't know if this is going to... I think this probably only adds questions. It's a 2D bomb-based platformer. So the idea is that around your character you can move the bomb and explode it. And also there's a meter. There's a constant meter that's ticking down, and when it ticks down, the bomb explodes. So what you gotta do is maintain your bomb meter and move it in the right positions. That's basically the long and the short of it. It's the gist. We're doing like positions right now. So if you hold different directions on the arrow keys, then it will move the bomb to the correct way, in the correct states. That's the gist. That's the concept here. Oh shoot, that doesn't work yet. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Dang it. Okay. Here's what we can do. We'll just make 4 booleans. This is not a good way of doing this. Let's make an array of booleans, actually. That would probably be a lot smarter. Make a boolean array, and we'll call that directions. We'll set directions for... We don't want to make array. Have 4 elements in this array, and we will set array set element set array element. No? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember how to make arrays work properly. Not that this is very complicated, but I'm stupid. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So basically what's happening here is that when we press up, it'll set this part to be true. Or probably started and then completed. Yeah. And then this can just be true and then false. There we go. Okay. And RPG elements are up in the air. It is pretty up in the air, yeah. RPG platformer, bomb delivery, pet sphering. Yes, those are all accurate descriptors of whatever the heck is going on here. Whatever nonsense we've devolved into within an hour. Okay, set this to index array 1. And And then these are going to be index array 2. Oh, not triggered. These will be started and completed. Get out of the way there, you. Okay, so now what we've got here is a system that'll basically tell us what all of which directions are being pressed, and which ones are being pressed in conjunction. So what we're going to do is, up to event tick, we're going to set a custom event. So we're going to make a custom event, and we're going to call this directional check. And then what we'll do is do directional check. So we'll check this every frame because we're going to want to check this every frame. This is going to be something we want to be consistent here. And we're going to set up this, tie it to a sequence here. We can get our directions, and what we're going to want to do is check each individual index, essentially, and then check to see which ones are being pressed in conjunction together. I guess we'll level up the dash and stuff. That would be part of the RPG elements, yes. That's like our in-between level shenanigans we're still figuring out. Get a reference. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is set up 9 different sequences here for each of the possible different inputs, or combinations of inputs. So let's start by trying to figure out what we get for input 1. So input 1 is left and down, and what that would mean is that we need index array elements 1 and 2. So what we'll do is if index array elements 1, if 1 is true and 2 is true, then set directional to 1. There we go. By default, we want that to be 5, because 5 will be the neutral position. And we'll add a print string direction. Wait, no, don't type directional. Plug in directional. There we go. So it should say 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and then the arrow keys are also moving us. Let's go to the mapping context real quick. And up, down, right, left, delete all of that. I didn't actually map these inputs. Or, no, I did. Yeah, up, left, down, right. It's just they were conflicting with other inputs. There we go. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily reading these inputs, though. That's weird. Let's add a print string here, just to make sure that this is indeed working. So we'll see hello upon IA up getting pressed. There we go. Okay. No, it is pressing it. It's just maybe this bit's not working. Oh, and I added this. Oh, okay. I just put this in the wrong spot. Never mind. I'm foolish. I'm ghoulish. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So now you can, as you can see, when we press down and left on the keyboard, then that is setting this directional value to 1. So now we know which direction we're pressing. What if a button pulls up the middle finger from Void Collector to flip off the enemies and it does nothing? That's a cheat code. Should we fill up the assets channel after the stream so you have a bunch of stuff to work with next stream? Yeah, probably. I mean, I'd say I'll make like a concrete plan of things to work on, so it's not just like listless, you know. It should have a little bit more concreteness to it, you know. Guitar Hero controller support. I think we gotta get our priorities a little bit. We gotta have the fundamentals of the game working first before we start worrying about trying to make it work for Guitar Hero controllers, but like where your head's at. Okay, so with this, we've got 1 and 2 working. Wow, look at that. How impressive. So now we want to get direction 2 working, which is down, just straight down. So what we want is, I believe that should be just array element 1. Although we're probably going to need all 4 of these, actually, because we want... Yeah. Okay. Slight rework to this code. It's going to look like a bit of a nightmare, but that'll be okay. Yeah, so if 1 and 2 are true, I think we can do 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if that's false, if this is true, and that's false, then set direction 1. So we should see 1. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And then for 2, there's got to be a more efficient way of doing this. I don't know what it is. There's definitely a better way of doing this. This is definitely not what we in the biz call good code. But it is functional code, and no one can take that away from me. And then that'll be 2. And then 3 is going to be right and down. And then right is in the code as 3. So what we want is 1 to be true and 3 to be true. But everything else will be false. Alright, so now we should theoretically have all of these different directions working. So we got 1, 2. That's 1, because I didn't set it to 3 here. But there we go. So if we look at the top left, you'll see that it's 5 at neutral. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So our code is working pretty fundamentally. So people are leaving at a new animal sphere. Yeah, I don't really know why people leave. They just hate my streams. I don't know. I don't worry too much about it. I just try to keep going with it and have fun. And instead of trying to constantly do like attention grabs, I feel like that makes the streams less watchable. Who cares if there's nothing to control? We need weird and wacky input devices. It's not good code, but it's functional code. Adding this mechanic with sheer blunt force. True. This is it's kind of an abomination, frankly, but it sure does function. It sure does work. Okay, then this is... What the heck happened here? It's weird looking. I don't like that. We can just go ahead and plug all the rest of these guys in. 4 and 5. And 6. And 7. The funny thing about video games is that all of this code, like running all of this every single frame, is less performance costly than like a texture that's kind of big. Or like a song. You know, obviously if this is going to be like a full commercial project, this is the kind of code you'd want to optimize better. But for like a stupid little fun project, it's not even the kind of thing that has that like dramatic of an impact, which is insane. Like a lot of things that seem like they would be really bad are not nearly as bad as just like fixing like the textures on like a tree or something, or downscaling the mesh size. It's very weird how that sort of thing works. Okay, so now we're going to do 4. And 4 is going to be straight left. And left on our inputs is 2. So we want just 2 to be true. Yeah, just 2 is true. Everything else is false in this chaotic hellscape of a web that I've called my code. And then we have 5, which is nothing. 5 should be everything false. And then 6 is straight right, and if you'll recall, right, I say if you recall as if I remember what it is, right is just 3, so everything else is going to be false. And then 7 is up and left, and up is 0, and left is 2. So we want 0 to be true and 2 to be true, but 1 and 3 both need to be false. And then up is 0 only, or 8 is straight up, so we want it to be only 0. Everything else is false. And then 9 is going to be top right, or up and right. So 0 is true, and 2 is true, but everything else is false. Or is right 2 or is right 3? I think right's 3. Right's 3. Okay, cool. Got that done. Now if we look up there, it's 5. 1, 2, 3. Why did I reset to? Guys, something's not working. Uh-oh. Guys, I messed something up. Something's not quite right. Uh-oh. I don't even know if it is functional code. It looks like this and it doesn't even work. That's the saddest part of it all. Okay, so 4 is not getting hit for some reason. Why would that be? Why would... Oh, well, this is just... That's just not right there. That's probably what it was, is that the down input was just not getting set back properly. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. Now we got all of our directions, so we can set things how we'd want them to. So we can now move things and detect what all of the directions that we are currently holding and facing is. Great. So you're making a live service game? How many streams do you think are going to work on this? I don't really know, because I've got, as I've mentioned, I've got another project in the works, but it is not really ready to be shown off on stream, not by a long shot. I would rather wait until there's more of it, more substantial stuff to show. So this kind of gives me something to stream and keep popping in, have something fun to do, that isn't that yet. Octopus code. What new features have been added in the last 20 minutes? Well, welcome back. Also, welcome back, Retroflack. We've got you press the directions on the arrow keys, and it'll essentially detect which direction you're holding, so that we can then do an explosion to send the character in the other way. That's how it's working right now. So if we go to the dash. What we could do here is set up a switch on int. And there's definitely going to be a more elegant way to do this, but we're not worried about that right now. Directional, plug that in. I can optimize code on my own time. I'll, we'll do the fun, interesting parts on stream. Set it up to 8 because we have 0. Isn't included as 1. Okay, so this is kind of the confusing part, is that, we do need 9. Yeah, 0 wouldn't do anything, because it's always 1 through 9. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. So now we've got all of our 9 directions here, and basically what we want to do is then launch the character in the opposite direction. So if our inputs are currently being held at 1, then we want to launch the player upright. So what that would mean is that we'd have, say, a launch velocity of 1,000, and 1,000. And this will probably be both X and Z override. Might make that feel a little better. So we're holding down left, and then boom. It sends you up and away. It's a little slow, but it does function. So let's say 2,000 and 2,000. There we go. Yeah, so now we got that dash. I think we'll probably reduce the air friction a little bit, because we are kind of losing all of our air momentum really quickly. But we'll worry about that a little later. Right now it's functional. Okay. I'm also going to make a variable real quick called explosion power. And that is going to be an integer float. We'll make it a float. And what we'll do is grab a multiply node. So explosion power times 2,000. and explosion power will by default be 1. And basically what this will just let us do is that we can adjust this variable to adjust how the explosions are for every single direction without having to go through and make each tiny little change over and over, which I think would probably get very annoying. Okay, so 2 is straight down, so what we want to do is just launch upwards. We don't want to do any X override. And then 3, we're going to want to send up and left. So we'll plug it into Y and Z velocity. And then 4 is straight left, so we want to send them straight right. So no Z velocity, just X velocity. 5, we'll say just, if you're holding neutral, it'll send you just straight upwards with nothing else added to it. And then if it is 6, then it'll be sending you in the Y direction. Or not, actually no, this probably shouldn't be Y, it should probably be negative, shouldn't it? Yeah, because I think that'll send us forwards towards the screen, which isn't really what we want. Yeah, it sends us forward, towards the screen. Not what we're looking for, hold on. Instead of using the Y there, we'll make it a, another multiply by -1. There we go. And then we can hook that up in here as well. There we go. That's our 5 and our 6. And then we can go down to 7. And 7 is top left, so we want to send to the right and down. So, go. It'll give us some downwards momentum. And then 8 will send us straight downwards. And then 9 will send us down left. And, yeah, down left. So we can plug both of those in like that. Okay, so let's see if this works now. So that sends us straight upwards. It sends us up left. Sends us up. Oh, okay, the 2 is not working. 3 is also sending us on the y-axis. Okay, whoops. Okay, it seems like a lot of things aren't working quite right. Yeah, on 2 it should be sending us just... Oh, X velocity. It should be just Z velocity. Oh, and that's still plugged into the Y. Yeah, it should be X. Okay, so that sends us up left. Straight up. And then we're holding down right, so we go up left. Then... just left, straight up, just right, not right. Still plugged into the Y velocity because I'm a fool. And then this is also plugged into the Y velocity again because I apparently am an idiot. That sends us down. Ooh, that could be fun if you do that and then you use like the B hop to like get extra speed, like you dash down and then use that speed immediately to launch yourself. We need funny synth music, before orchestra or hardcore D&D breakcore. Could you stream more often for this project? Yeah, considering this would be just like, this would be only made on stream basically. Like I wouldn't really do much of anything on this offline except maybe like pure fundamentals and things. What happens when a red bar blows up? You die. That's the whole goal is to not get blowed up. But yeah, looks like our dash is working pretty good. Yeah, and you can basically just send yourself flying anywhere you want with these right buttons here. You can basically just fly. Now the idea is that these dashes would consume some of your bomb meter, so that'd be the danger. Make the dash reduce the timer. Yeah, it would be the next step, wouldn't it? Let's expose power to 2 real quick, just to see if that feels a little better though. Okay, it's probably a little much, isn't it? Let's make the explosion power 1.5. And you know what? I think we're gonna pull the camera just a little bit further, just a little further back. Just a little bit further. I feel like the angular ones, like whenever we're going left or right, it just sort of cuts our speed off quite a lot. So that'll need some adjusting, for sure. Okay, but yeah, whenever we use our dash button, whenever it's triggered, we will take the bomb meter. We will set bomb meter. Bomb meter, subtract by, let's say 10. 10 for now. Doesn't really matter exactly how much. We'll tweak that when we get to it, but this will do the trick for now. Why did it take away twice there? Yeah, why is it... Oh, I see. It's taken away twice because it is... Yeah, because it's getting triggered both on press and release. Yeah, we don't really want that. We want just pressed. Yeah, so I think the big thing I really want to work is to be able to dash into the ground and use that as like it's like Celeste, basically, you know, where you can dash into the ground and then use that momentum. I think the playlist looped. It does that a lot. I can give it a good old reset, though. Give a reshuffle. No, I didn't. Okay, that didn't work. Hold on, let's pick another song. Then shuffle. I think that's... Sure. We'll rock the Kirby music. What if there's a giant octopus god? How does the giant octopus god fit into the bomb lore? Sleep good tonight, knowing Seth has a picture of my dog in his computer that he will probably never remember to delete. You know what? I probably won't really think about deleting it much. It'll be lurking in the project files for ages to come, for eons to come. Okay, well we got our bomb system working on a fundamental level. You know, it's not the most functional, but it is functional. So that's good. Probably. What we could do is set your rotation to 0, 0, 0. How do we want it to do this? I guess we could do arrows. Yeah, probably arrows. Something's just utility that doesn't really actually do anything. Yeah, we'll call this 1. I probably should explain what I'm doing, huh? So what I'm thinking we're gonna do here is actually start moving the bomb around visually to give, you know, an actual indicator of how this is gonna work. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And we'll copy paste these guys upwards. Don't know why they're going at such weirdly different angles. It's kind of odd. Unusual, maybe. So this is 4. That's 5. Not 45, 5. Nope, 5. Okay, it's because they can't be 5 because that's 6. Okay, 5. 6. Wait, which one's 6? Where's this 6? That should be 4. Okay, and then that's 6. There we go. So grab these 3. Drag them upwards. Then everything gets all out of whack again for some reason. Then we gotta change these again because it renames them to the wrong ones. 7, 8, 9. Nope, 9. There we go. Okay, so now we got these arrows. These are all arrows. And what we're going to do with these is that we can essentially set the origin point here to be where the bomb is placed, essentially. So what we can do here is we can grab our mesh, which is the sphere here, which we can rename you to bomb, and then bomb set location, probably world location, I guess. And then we just like set it to, you know, get location. Like that. So it'd be, you know, there we go. Now it's in the one position. It's not though. Should be. Set, maybe it's absolute. No, that's a variable. That's not, or a boolean. That's not what we're looking for. Set local. Location? It's a relative location? Okay, something's kind of funky here. We'll worry about that system later. But point being, we have these different locations where we can now put the bomb, and that'll let us sort of snap it around in that circle to make it more clear where it goes. Would dashing in the 5 direction make you stop fully? I was thinking it would just send you upwards by default, but it could be like an emergency brake, basically. That might work. So the player is a bomb? The player's not a bomb. The player is carrying a bomb. They're trying to take the bomb to like a defusal spot and not get blowed up. I just joined the stream, so I do not know what is going on here. So I'm coming up with random ideas. Yeah, it's a bomb game. You're trying to take a bomb to the end of the level without blowing up. You do certain things, you'll get blowed up. As a matter of fact, actually, let's take this goal text. Bomb-based platformer. Get to the end while carrying a bomb. Don't blow up. Yeah, you know, we can even flesh this out a little bit better. Get to the end of the level while carrying a bomb. The bomb meter can be used for dashes and goes down when you take damage. Let's see, what am I missing here? I think it's probably about it. Fast momentum-based 2D platformer. Also, there's pet spheres in the background. Okay, I think that should probably answer everybody's questions. I think the pet spheres things, you know, that's probably the part that makes the most sense now. Okay, well, we got our little system now. What do you guys want to see next for our game here? What do you think we need now? We got a basic fundamental mechanic. We got our bomb dashes. Maybe we could have a new platforming mechanic. Maybe we could have another little background element. Maybe, you know, what do you guys think we really need next? What is this magnum opus? What does it need? Is timer running out result in the game mode? Yeah, it would. If it does, I don't think it should drain the bomb bar to dash in direction 5. I mean, I think it'd be a good emergency break. I think it's still probably, it could maybe cost a little less or something. Or just send the player straight up. I guess an emergency break, you don't really need an emergency break actually, because you could just hold up or down. There's not really many situations where you'd want to just like completely stop. Add a test enemy? We could do that, yeah. UFO 50 jump scare. What if there's a laser hazard that's a tripwire that causes a remote detonation? Like of your bomb or of like something else? Yeah, let's add a blueprint. Let's add a pawn. Call it BP enemy guy. Let's add a cube. And then let's make it the bunny. There we go. It actually works pretty good on the cube. Then let's add a sphere collision. I guess, I mean, might as well make a box collision, actually. Get a box collision. Alright, and then on collision with the box, so on component begin overlap. Let's see, actually we can first do an event event begin play, where we cast to BP third person character, get player on, promote that to a variable. And then, actually put the same cast here real quick just to make sure that's the same. And then if it overlaps the player, then as the player, we will set bomb get bomb meter. Set bomb meter. Subtract, say 20. So now if we bump into this, ooh, we lost so much juice there, so much meter. How dangerous. Gotta be careful. Dunk. Okay, that seems like it's kind of activating multiple times, which is odd. I think it's also stuck in the floor. How did it sink to the ground? Does this not have collision? Block all, it should be, yeah, it's block all dynamic. I don't know why it's sinking into the floor. I think maybe it's different parts of the player character that it's overlapping with that are causing the issues here. All right, well that kind of works. We got an enemy. It's kind of sucks, but it works. See, Pufferfish with a sword, flying and make the enemy flying and launches at you. Let's see, got some latest video. It's popping off. Yeah, it is. It really is. Thank you. I don't know why it's doing so well, but I'm glad about it. Replenish the meteor. You need to do cool combos and skilled movements. Yeah, that's kind of the thought, is that we'll do by doing cool stuff. It'll contribute to pulling all your meter together. Okay, I'm gonna be very real with you guys. I'm getting a little tired. It's been about 2 hours, and I haven't streamed in a month, so I'm kind of out of practice. So I'm feeling a little weary, but I'm not going yet. I think we should round today off with. Pulled my headphones a little bit there. I think we should round today off with a fun. One last fun, sort of stupid addition. So, give me an idea. Give me what you guys want for some kind of silly little addition. You know, doesn't gotta be too serious. Something simple we can add. You know, in like 10 minutes. But a fun way to wrap up our first stream of this series. Hopefully I'll be streaming for a little longer as I get more used to it. But like I said, it's been like a month since I streamed last, so I think I'm a little out of form. But I do think I want to really quickly just adjust the air braking here. Air control. We could just increase the air control maybe. It's probably braking for that down by like 0.3. No, that was like 0, I think. Yeah, there we go. Now the boosts feel much better. Dark Souls boss? Okay, I said something I could add in like 10 minutes. Add Grumbus as an enemy? Okay, well you can't just say add Grumbus. I gotta know who Grumbus is. If you threw the bomb, what would happen? I think you would die. And putting a keyword makes the spheres blow up and end the world. Okay, you guys are thinking maybe a little too grand scale here. Add France. Okay, you guys are not thinking in the right zone here. The character spin as the dash happened. That could be kind of a fun little visual detail. Let's see. Speedrun a model of a guy in Blender in 5 minutes, and the finished product needs to be in the game with no second attempts. I don't want to do Blender right now. Blender's so annoying. I hate Blender. Grumbus is the assets channel. Oh, he's in the assets channel. Okay. Oh, that guy. Yeah, sure. I can get Grumbus. Grumbus. All right, but what does Grumbus do? What is his function? Wait, it's not transparent. It's okay. Sure. Grumbus. Okay, well, I've figured out what I'm gonna do with Grumbus. Grumbus watches. Grumbus looms. All present, ever knowing. Always watching, always waiting. Pressing a button makes you backflip. Add the French Revolution with the Portal Revolution characters. Curly Paint Bucket, Grumbus Red. Angry Eyebrows. Grumbus blows up. Okay, he blows up. I can do that. Okay, I think for the next time I'm gonna make like a suggestion form, because I think a lot of the ideas are like just complete nonsense, and it's like we gotta have something concrete to work with. Like we gotta have this is kind of largely for fun here, but we need like a structure and a direction. But here we'll add a new folder, or enemies, enemy. Move enemy guy in there. We'll add, not folder. Add a new blueprint, make it an actor, PP Grumbus. Then add sprite. Grumbus. Then we'll add a box collision. Then add a rotating movement component. Don't ask why. It's a good idea though. And then we'll grab our Grumbus, then plonk him down right there. There we go. Yeah, there's Grumbus. And then we will add a should be affected by gravity. Character movement. Oh, it's not a character. Whoops. Hold on. Redo. Gotta delete Grumbus real quick. Make him a character. That's what I should have done. Grumbus. There we go. And great. I probably should face this way actually. Grumbus. Grumbus. There we go. Collision to no collision. Then add a box collision. Put it around. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Then add a rotating movement component. 180. There we go. And then if you touch this collision, he will explode violently. Print, string, boom. Cast to BP. Not first, I keep typing first, that's what I'm used to. Third person character. And then launch character at like a billion. There we go. That'll do it. A concrete wall. Started a similar project to this yesterday. I'm letting a bunch of fourth graders make art for a game. That does it does feel like what it is like right now. Wait, so are we coding the game over? Oh, that'll probably be another time. Well, right now we're just worrying about. Oh shit! I got hit. I hit the bunny, so I didn't get sent into the Shadow Realm. That time I got sent to the Shadow Realm. I don't know why on the intro level, if you like touch the end point, it just like blows up your character and then everything stops working. All right, but that is Grumbus. Pretty good. I think this is where we'll wrap up the first stream of this little series. Thank you everybody for stopping in. I think next time I'll have a slightly more defined structure for how we go about suggesting ideas and adding things. Probably like a form. We'll make a list of like fundamentals and then fun extra details and stuff, and then real wacky ideas. So that way there's at least a little bit of form to the chaos. So it's not all just a bunch of swirling nonsense. Where it's like, you should add hell, you know? I think that'll make a little more sense. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody who decided to tune in. Hope you guys enjoy it.